In recent weeks, almost two paradoxical developments in the 2024 presidential race merged. First, Donald Trump votes in front of Joe Biden in the general elections. The first, Trump has somehow increased the bar to unprecedented levels in terms of violence and inhuman rhetoric. During Veterans Day speech last weekend, Trump threatened to root the radical left bandits living like a pest within boundaries of our country. Trump's definition of insect is broad, basically covers everyone who oppose it. And on Monday, he claimed that the Ministry of Justice Special Advisor Jack Smith and others would be in a mental institution when the next period ended. These comments are followed by Trump's threat of using the FBI and the Ministry of Justice against political enemies, as well as special threats to go to Joe Biden. Likewise, in Washington Post, they come to heels a report stating that Trump and his allies have prepared plans to potentially call act of rebellion on first day office. It's time for many Americans to be honest with two things that may not be ready to struggle. 1. Trump is elected president, and 2. It entirely possible that he will actually do what he promises. Now, it can be understood why most of us prefer not to face these potential facts. For one thing, Trump's norm-dürkü discourse, he made us insensitive a long time ago. The reason for this shows how to manage the last comments in a second period. After first election in Trump in 2016, there was hope that great responsibility of presidency would make him civilized. They ignore year. One way ignore Trump's comments is to reject him as a clown dealing with exaggeration. Excite rubes. Although it is true that Trump does not do everything he promised to do in the first period, this should provide us with little comfort. Once, if had lost in 2016 and 2020, wouldn't accept the election results. In fact, followed not to accept it when lost these results. Moreover, Trump's as a sacrifice has significantly increased in the last few years. The most important thing remember is that Trump has a lot of railing to prevent him from doing everything he really wants to. The Chief of General Staff John Kelly was besieged by military leaders such as Defense Secretary James Mattis and the Joint Chief of General Staff Mark Milley. They were a handful of people who were slowly walking their orders under the Trump administration, or trying to reduce any potential damage. Even Trump's own judicial appointed efforts to achieve his goals, including the attempt to overthrow the 2020 elections. In other words, Trump did not fully implement his targets because he stopped the deep state. However, this time Trump will be prepared countless and better. 2 years ago, the conservative writer David Frum shared his concerns about a second Trump administration with me. This time I am really worried about Donald Trump's return, Frum said, because this time Velociraptors understood how to work as hundreds peop.